Man, 2022 of SMG4 was not be the same anymore as I used to be. Hey guys and girls, this is Oxala Ninja 2017 there, and let's talk about reason why 2022 of SMG4 is the most biggest downfall so far. And this videos, we could be talking about why 2022 of SMG4 was a downfall and what happened just now after 2011 2021. Well, let's see what that's all about. 2022 of SMG4 is absolutely the most weakest year of SMG4 has ever seen so far. And why? Well, because they just get a nowhere like that way. And let's begin. My wait for the boss was absolutely first videos of 2022. Like Super Mario Logins in 2016, where Java first debuted, and this first video of 2022, where Mario waits for the boss, and he get really impatient. And when he sees the toad on the boss, he drops some people, including Maggie. Mario chased down Bowser when he tried to get to Spaghetti Carnival. Unfortunately, he missed the boss because Toad hates Mario as usual. And then Maggie see Mario who missed the boss. When Mario get really impatient, then Maggie head back home to feed cat where Mario continue begging. This is a most slowest downfall so far in 2022 ever like that way. And then Maggie see Luigi walking by, and then Luigi used power to fast forward in times. Unfortunately, it's awakening the Time Watcher. And then they attack Maggie and Luigi when Mario hiding behind a bench. And then Swag can see the Watcher and he cannot kill God, and yet he learned that back in 2021 last year. And Swag got other way to do to get the Time Watcher to the one at Carnival. After that, then they went back to the same bus stop, and it turned out to be Spaghetti Carnival was next to it for the whole time. That Mario was not paying attention to that. It will make it matter worse about that. And yes, Revolution Arc and the movie is still fantastic, but that still doesn't say about that because I'm now getting into NFTs, which, well, because of SMG4 Kevin have run out of ideas, they made Mario as a main antagonist instead of, well, a baddies as a main antagonist, like what they did on SMG3 back then before SMG3 become a good guy. And yes, Mario got into NFTs who keep doing that, and yes, he also steal people's soul and so on like that way until he get defeated by Bob at the end. I mean, why did Mario have to be main antagonist in this 2022 of SMG4? The SMG4 has run out of ideas for the main antagonist plan. In this 2022, we had Karen, Kaiso, and Depresso, and this year of 2022 of SMG4 was beginning to get a bit more downfall getting than ever. Karen was absolutely the most mean spirit to Mario, where she dumped Mario against the garbage in the Mario documentary. She slapped Mario in the face in the lawn tray, and so on. Kaiser, on the other hand, he just sliced Mario's head off during his first debut, and that was pretty much it. But I don't know about Kaiser because, yeah, I can't explain about that. It's all about rocking a war with a cycle, and I was pushing my air like that. And then we had the oppressor, the clown. I mean, I don't understand why we had these clown and characters and their shield versions for like that way. One thing that's made the fans very frustration and it's get really outdated so quickly. They use Belle, Wempu, and Rob as the side characters since Christmas Special 2021. I know it's not too bad. I know it sounds like no makes sense. In 2022, I'm now getting into NFTs to see Belle, Wempu, and Rob as the side characters was absolutely get really old and outdated so quickly. I mean, Rob, Belle, and Wempu was used to be characters in 2020, but why would bother to be side characters after coming special 2021 still? That's just getting nowhere like that. They used to be main characters back in 2020, but the side characters, that SMG4 had run out of ideas for the side characters rather than Wempu, Belle, and Rob. Seriously. Even make matter worse about that, it's Valentine's Special was absolutely got cancelled because they ran out of ideas of holiday special now, guessing like that, because they have no choice to cancel Valentine's Special back then and this year. But because they had run out of ideas. What the fuck is happening on these holiday special? One thing we're absolutely afraid about that in future SMG4 of this year is Halloween Special and Christmas Special, which we absolutely afraid if they get cancelled as well if they had run out of ideas like that. Instead, we had Mr. Mario become canon. Well, more like on canon. That is just pointless. Even make bit pointless about that as a cursed tape back in May 2022. It had Halloween Special was way too early. Maybe SN4 Kevin don't have any kind of plenty of ideas like that. What happened to regular feeders like that? Yes. On top of that, once I really mentioned about that, I really wish Wempu, Belle, and Rob as characters rather than being a pointless side characters. Luke SMG4. We sure you did that back in 2020, and now you're having the Rob, Belle, and Wempu as the side characters was downright pointless and it's just outdated so quickly. Fuck me. On top of that, people need to focus to mention, if Mario was the last man on Earth, I was big fat liar, I was really weird like that. It's not Mario's own fault, it's a SN4's kind fault, and according to the fans, they cannot blame Mario when Mario fell down the pizza by an accident, but because of the sanity effect. And why the milk had a drug in it? Well, rather find out soon enough in later SN4 videos like that. And yes, if Mario was the last man on Earth, it was absolutely the worst SN4 videos ever. Boys vs. Girls back in 2019 of SN4 was quite bad enough like that. Then if Mario was the last man and on Earth and Mario joined the circus. And that's it. Well, 2022 of SMG4 was absolutely the most weakest year so far. We absolutely are so afraid if Halloween and Christmas Special would get badly cancelled if they would run out of ideas like that in the future videos like that, because we still be afraid of that. I really don't recommend it to keep rewatching this year of SN4 like 2022 as I guess it's the most biggest downfall has ever seen like that. Karen, Kaiso, and Depressos, I don't see why we bothered 3 characters first debuting this year. Kaiso new design, Psycho new design, I meant to say that. Psycho's new design was quite still awesome as usual, but there's still nothing to say about this year of SMG4 like that. In conclusion, the first half of 2010 of SMG4 is quite fantastic. Like first half of the decade of 2010 of SMG4 with recolored Mario and used skills mod as a background. Now I forgot to mention it from earlier, so let me try this again to talk properly. Now the first half of 2010 of SMG4 was quite fantastic. First half of decade with recolored Mario and skills mod background for that. And second half of 2010s where SMG4 Kevin has started to use Garry's mod model instead of use of recolored Mario like Fisher Bumpkin, Bob, Psycho, Bell, and so on. It's still fantastic SMG4 features as usual. I know they don't use recolored Mario anymore from Super Mario 64 player in second half of 2010s or 2020 or 2021 like that, because it's still good SMG4 features as usual. They don't count as a downfall as well, because we know SMG4 used to be doing recolored Mario back in first half of 2010s like that. And second half of 2010 they use Garry's mod model like Fisher Bumpkin, Bob, Maggie, Shumei, Psycho, Torre, Axel, Melanie, and so on. Which I was meant to say that as well 2020 and 2021. Still good SMG4 features until 2022 where SMG4 franchise beginning a downfall. I really don't recommend it to watch 2022 of SMG4 or rewatch it again like that way, because it's absolutely quite a boring features as well like that. Oh yeah, I forgot about to mention that how did Mega lost her home in the first place in pawn shop? Well, the answer is we would never know about that, because unless you all find out in the SMG4 wiki itself. If you were quite bored of watching 2022 of SMG4, which is already the downfall of SMG4, and don't waste your time on 2022 of SMG4 like that way, I really recommend you just go watch 2017 of SMG4 or 2020 of Alex Spider instead, because 2017 of SMG4 and 2020 of Alex Spider, these are golden year of YouTubers, like 2017 of SMG4 and 2020 of Alex Spider, because it's still a fantastic year still. And also had no one bad features in 1 year as well back in 2017 of SMG4 and 2020 of Alex Spider. So go watch 2017 of SMG4 and 2020 of Alex Spider instead, because it's a fantastic year still as usual with no bad features like that. So go watch 2017 of SMG4 and 2020 of Alex Spider instead of this pointless puke buff 2022 of SMG4. Meh. So just go watch 2017 of SMG4 and 2020 of Alex